So a lot of Americans are wisely, really seriously looking into returning to the old ways of doing things. That's keeping house, growing your own food, so forth and so on. So this is a story about one such American woman. So this lady decided that she did a little bit of research, and she was going to start washing her clothes. That's washing your clothes in boiling water, like like in the olden days. Well, the whole premise is that the reality is that a lot of people didn't actually have hot and cold running water, so they would. Of course, I'm not this old to even know this, but from my knowledge. And I actually lived in a house with my grandmother when I was a child, and she did this because she lived in the deep backwoods, and there was no hot water. We did everything by boiling water on the stove. Okay, so back to the story. So the lady decided she was going to start boil washing her clothes. Of course, she decided this because they come out more sanitary and what have you, right? So she got a big, huge stock pot, put it on top of her stove, loaded it with water, and set the fire on it, and it started boiling. So she was going to start, simple. She added in powdered soap. Then she added her white dish towels, which she had already washed, mind you, in the washing machine. Right? So, the water's filtered, the whole 9 yards. Everything is set up, in a normal everyday household, right? So she goes off and lets it boil for a while. She comes back horrified. First of all, the smell that comes from the pot is overwhelming. Then, when she looks inside the pot, the water is brown. And she said it's not brown like tea, it's brown like soup, like mud. Like she takes a towel out and just rivulets of brown soup. So she was saying that the washing machine had not gotten her clothes clean at all. Now, I can attest to this. I can attest to two things. First of all, not all washing machines are made the same. In Europe, they have boil washers as their washing machine. The internal mechanism of the washing machine boils the water and then washes the clothes in that water, right? The whole point is to get the clothes clean, not to get the clothes pretty. So, I can attest to not all washing machines are made the same, and not all detergent is made the same. I used to be an Amway salesman, and the detergent that they used in the original Amway detergent, soap, all of their soap and stuff, which is what their original Amway was soap. It was just soap. And it was the strongest soap that you could ever find. If you put Amway soap into a regular washing machine, let's say you use it in a commercial public washing machine, your clothes will come out dirty because the Amway soap will clean everything in the entire washing machine. So all these Mexican landscapers who wash their clothes in the public laundromats, their dirt cakes up on the actual machine. And so people come in and wash with really poor soap, and they wash it, it rinses around a little bit, and they throw it in the dryer and they go home. Well, if you use the Amway soap, all of that dirt is pulled off of the machine, and it is deposited right neatly onto your clothes. So your clothes actually come out dirtier than than when you put them in, assuming that you don't wear your clothes and go hiking in mud or anything like that. So my Amway distributor told me to at home run an entire cycle with just the soap inside of it to clean the actual washing machine out first. You can't do that in a commercial thing because people think you're crazy and they'll try and take your washing machine anyway. They're like, there's nothing in here, I'm using it. Anyway, that's the story about this. I'm going to tell you some gardening stories. I really think that we should, in this time, the economy is much worse than Obama and NBC and all those people are letting on. It is much worse. I'm studying for my finance degree, for my finance exam, a CFA, and the stuff that I get to see on a privileged basis, I get to go to meetings with actual, like, real life Wall Street people, because CFA is basically something that you go to Wall Street and use. So the CFA Society here holds gatherings just like everywhere else, and I get privileged information, and I question them. I question them as if I was like a reporter from 1950. Sir, is that true? But the economy is much worse than you think it is. I would gather resources that you can put your finger on at a moment's notice, because you never know when it's coming. The crash is going to come, and you do not want to be left empty-handed. All right? You know, if all of your money's in the bank and you have no cash in a safe at home for emergencies, you're going to be left out in the cold, because if the system crashes. And I know people say, oh, that could never happen, but it's already happened, what, 2 or 3 times. It's already happened in the United States. We don't want to talk about it. They don't want to point it out, but the actual crash, there were 2 crashes, one in 1921 and 1929. So there's already 2 crashes, and 2008 was another crash. I mean, a literal crash. It was self-inflicted, but they were always self-inflicted. Anyway, that's my little story about the washing machine and the boil washing. She has since, I believe, taken to boil washing all of her clothes, because, you know, who knows what you're leaving on your clothes that's making you sick, or, you know, if you have children, especially. Children hang out with other children, and other children are all sick and nasty. So if you boil wash your clothes, make sure you get all of those nasties off of your clothes and your children's clothes, and your children coming home hugging you and walling around on you. You're going to catch whatever they have too. So that's my encouragement, to turn back to the old ways. They had a lot of merit and a lot of wisdom to them. Thanks for watching. Check out my live show. Like the video so other people can see it. Thank you.